What is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to the reaction of Money in the Bank 2025. A very interesting night for the wrestling, isn't it? Unbelievable finish to that pre-live event, and yeah, we can talk about it. Definitely talk about it. But I was saying that I was gonna talk about the Worlds Collide event that happened earlier today. It happened before. Now it came on at a different time than I was expecting, so I missed the first 6-man tag or 8-man tag, whatever it was. I didn't get to see it, so I can't tell you too much about it. I did see Little Vice, Stephanie in their tag team match. They won. We had both Stephanie and Lola doing their doubles kiss. Booker T going crazy. And Booker T he got the chant over. Everybody's doing the ah 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 ah. It's absolutely fantastic. Legado del Fantasma, they won their 6-man tag match. There's a nice bit of good stuff there from what they were showing. And the final 2 matches were just incredible. The Fatal 4-Way match with Ethan Page from NXT North American title, Ethan Page against Ray Phoenix, against Laredo Kid, against Devon Evans. Just tremendous. It was a 5-star match, in my opinion. Absolutely fantastic. And then the main event was the AAA Mega Championship with Kingo. Hio did it with Kingo, taking on Chad Gable. And this was incredible. Now, I haven't watched too much of Hio David Kingo. But I've seen highlights, and I've seen some of the stuff that I think are just stupid. Doing flips onto chairs and then flips onto tables and everything like that. You know, things that hurt. And even in this match, he did something kind of stupid where he did a 630 where Chad Gable was like on the apron. And it's just like, does that really need to be happening? So I don't know. No, I was glad to see that when Phoenix and Penta came over, they kind of went to they kind of joined in and doing whatever you're gonna call it, WWE style or whatever. Yeah. He started working it, and they've been pretty good in these matches. And really hasn't done anything too stupid. Although I think the thing on Monday with Chad Gable, Penta almost killing Chad Gable, that was kind of stupid. But it was a great match, a fantastic match, and Hio David Kingo won, retained the championship. So good on him. I thought it was really, really good. 5-star match, and yeah, so I think they killed it. It was a good indoctrination into the American things for AAA, and we'll see what other things happen with AAA, and we'll see if we get any other more crossovers and things like that. We actually got one crossover because in that first match there was a guy, Octagon Jr., and he was on the winning team, and he started with Dominic Mysterio, and that led to a match. A match added on to the match to the premium live event to Dominic Mysterio and Octagon Jr. And yeah, and so that was interesting. I did put my my post on my predictions video. So that prediction, which I predicted correctly, I predicted Dominic Mysterio would win. Goes as a correct thing for me, so that's good. So now to Money in the Bank. Let's talk about this. The women's Money in the Bank match opened the show, and there were a lot of people talking about that it was such study that this match might steal the show or make bang. And it was just kind of, it was dead on good, but it wasn't anything that you would see. It's ridiculous. And I think that could be a myriad of reasons, but I think one reason was also that one of the reasons why last year's was so entertaining is because there was like an air of an air of electric in there. It was like there was something. It felt like something could go wrong at any second during that match because they were just throwing each other around on these ladders and things like that. And so you start getting like tombstone out of it into a ladder and around a cell here over that. There was so many things in there that you just held up like, you were like looking like this, like I don't want to see it, but I gotta see it. So maybe they decided to tone it down a little bit and just give us a really good match. I think the two spots of this was the dual code reds as Roxanne hit a code red on Stephanie, and then Alexa Bliss hit a code red onto Naomi. While they were on ladders and there was a ladder bridge in the corner and everything like that. So that was part of one spot. But the another spot, excuse me for apologizing. No, excuse me for apologizing. Apologize. Lord have mercy. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I need to go to sleep tonight and try to catch up on some sleep. I may do this one pretty quickly as well because of that. And that one was the Devil's Kiss from Stephanie Becerra onto Rhea Ripley, and it was on the ladder bridge. It was on the ladder bridge. So it came down to it. Naomi won the match. I think it's the right choice for her. She's been doing good stuff as a heel, and I think that's going to take her to the next level. I really do. I give it 3.25 stars. Next was that IC match between Dominicster and Octagon Jr. Well wrestled. It was nothing. Especially I'm not sure how long they necessarily had. Right? Like it was last minute or just been known for weeks or something like that they were going to do this. But it was simple. It was just an average match. Dom won with the frog splash on top. 1, 2, 3, 2.5 stars. The women's Intercontinental title match was next, and I thought this was a really good thing. There was some fire, especially coming from Lyra Valkyria. There was some fight and some vigor and some piss and everything like that in this thing. I liked it. I will say this: Lyra was taking. I thought she was giving out a lot more damage than she was taking in this match, and she was like in control, almost like as if she was the heel, and Becky was like a babyface in peril. And when it came down to it, Becky with the roll up 1, 2, 3, she won. She wins the Intercontinental Championship, and there's no Bailey happened, and they had Lyra Valkyria raise her hand, and then she then asked Lyra to raise her hand to all 4 sides of the ring, and she capitulated to that. And then Becky asked her to put the belt around her, which she did that. But after that was a 3 strikes out. Then once she did that, she also turned her suplex and gave her the Nightwing. So this may not be over between these two lovely ladies, but yeah, I thought it was a real good wrestling match. I would give it 3, and I put down here 3.25. I'm gonna give it 3.5. I think that really was the 3.5 star match. Becky's the new Intercontinental Champion. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match, and this one, the few people were talking about, or it was just this like this, but this one was better. And I said in my predictions video that there was a Seth Rollins thing, and Seth Rollins was the biggest name, but could you really put it on him, and what could you do with it? And that's exactly what they did. They had Seth Rollins win this one. They had him kind of winning it with his crew, as his crew came out there to beat up everybody, and since Solo's crew came out there to beat up everybody, and then Jacob turned on Solo for because of what he heard last night on SmackDown, where Solo called him stupid and everything like that. So he said I hate you, Solo, and turned on Solo. So Jacob for 2 is now a babyface. And there was no other ones. There was no Punk, no Sammy, no Roman, Seth won, and he's a new Money in the Bank contract winner. Now, some people are going to say that, well, they're upset that Seth won because he didn't need it. He can just walk in and get championships. He's got that cachet, and he does. But there's a story here that they're doing. It's a storytelling plot, and it's just like last year. When I thought Jey Uso should have been the obvious winner, but they were telling the story of Drew and Punk, and they needed Punk to cost Drew, another shot at the championship, so that it could get to that point to where it needed to end, and it needed to end in Hell in a Cell. Now, I'm not sure if that's the way they're going down, and I'm not sure how it is, but they definitely could go that way. And so I think Seth won. And I think that Monday night after the Jey Uso match, and I think if Jey Uso does win, he overcomes it. Seth will come down, and either one of 3 things will happen. Seth will come down, cash in, and actually win the World Heavyweight Championship, which I think I would be angry at. He didn't get. He got a 2-month reign with the championship. Really, 2-month reign with the championship. That's trash. The second one is he cashed in, but just like last year, CM Punk, Sami Zayn, maybe even Roman Reigns cost him the match. It cost him the match. He gets pinned by Jey Uso, and then we don't have a Miz Money in the Bank ladder match. There's a Miz Money in the Bank winner again until for another year or so. The next year they're putting the Money in the Bank pay-per-view live event in a. And then that's 2. And then the third one here, and which one I would center around, is to have him come down and try to cash in, but he gets thwarted by the likes of Sami Zayn and CM Punk, or maybe even Roman Reigns. So then Seth still has the briefcase, but no, he did not fully cash in. So and you can possibly do that. That I think is a good one as well. That's a good way to go about it as well. So all in all, I think it was a little bit more exciting, than the women's. Give them that because it's just because of the storytelling with the non-bloodline and Seth's group and things like that. So I give it 4 3/4 stars. And then the main event was a tag match: Cody and Jay versus Cena and Logan Paul. Standard tag match. Jey Uso was the babyface of Pearl gave the hot tag to Cody. Cody ran wild. See, this is why I should get Paul. I should have. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Just I probably don't need to do it anyway. Just go to here and just like I said, I think I'm gonna probably go to sleep early. I think I'm probably gonna go to sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep sometime after this. I'm gonna, yeah. So, then they get the hot tags and they started doing some great spots, really good matchups, all that good stuff, hit finishers, everything like that. Logan Paul went for his drone, and he had his drone in his hand, but Cody ran up and superplexed him while he was holding the drone, and then Jey Uso splashed him while he was holding the drone. There was also a great Logan Paul, he's just he's gone to like a duck to water. He did a side moonsault onto a table, which is kind of a long distance away, where Jey Uso was resting on it toward the end of the match. So and the referee is then checking on both competitors. Cena has grabbed the belt and he's getting and he not only does he get ready, but he hits Cody Rhodes. And then someone comes out of the stands and jumps on John Cena, and I'm wondering who exactly that is. I think like maybe most people, some people maybe thought it was Braun Breaker because that's what Braun Breaker did with Roman. So that's what Braun Breaker's doing. He's softening up Cena so Seth can come and take the championship. But then, when you see it, you see that his skin is black. So who that is? And then I think it just comes to you. It's our truth. It's our truth. And then he pulls off the mask, the hood, and the ski mask, and it's our truth. And it is our truth. And he's back, and he hits Cena with the belt, and like that, and that allows Cody to hit the crossroads 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso win. They beat Logan Paul and John Cena, and that's how it goes off the air. They were 3.5 stars, but I thought this was a good show closing. And they are saying that now that R-Truth is now Ron Killings, because they put out stuff about Ron Killings and his go buy Ron Killings' new shirt and all those other things, right? So there's that, and then there are some people on Twitter who are reporting that this was done within the last 72 hours. So the last 3 days, they've been over talking about should we bring back R-Truth and things like that. And so let's talk about this right here and here, right? That there are some people who don't want to say that this was a work. I don't think that this was a work. Unless you want to work the boys and girls. And sometimes wrestling companies they do want to work the boys and girls in the company because then it seems like it's real. I can't remember exactly which one it was, but there was something that went down. And nobody knew. But you know what it was? It's the post concussion syndrome storyline with Shawn Michaels. Only people that knew was Shawn and Vince. Shawn, back in '95, Shawn, he was in his dickhead era, and he got, I guess the story was that he was talking to some girl, and she was the boyfriend of some Marines, and he was talking a bunch of shit, and he was talking a bunch of shit, and he didn't have Diesel or Razor or Bulldog. He didn't have anybody there that he would usually have with him when he was talking shit to save him. And apparently, some Marines they beat him up, and they beat him up bad. As you remember, back in '95, so for those who are old enough to remember, he had to give up the Intercontinental Championship because of that. He got a concussion from that beatdown. So when he came back, he was wrestling Owen Hart, and Owen Hart at one point kicked him with an enziguri. He went on. He put on another 5-6 minutes in the match, and he did his little pose. And after he did his stretchy pose, he got up and he was holding his head and he passes out. And he passes out in the ring. And it's not a part of the show. It's not supposed to happen. Owen Hart is looking like he can't believe it. The referee can't believe it. Jim Cornette, who's out there managing Owen Hart, He can't believe it. He doesn't know what's wrong. Jerry Lawler gets up from the commentator desk. So I think if he goes to see, I think Vince does. I think Vince goes to the commentator. You can't see. So and then they bring the people, out of the back. They bring the people out of the back into the, and they do all of the things that they do. They, give them oxygen. They put them on the stretcher and the backboard and everything like that. And the only people that knew was Vince and Sean. And Vince and Sean, they wanted to work the boys because they wanted it to seem real. And the way to do that was not to tell the ref. It was not to tell. It was not to tell Owen or Cornette or the King who was sitting on commentary. None of the guys in the truck knew. Nobody knew except Vince and Sean. And sometimes you do that to work the boys. Now, as it comes for this R-Truth Triple H situation, I don't think that this was a work. I don't think this was to work the boys and girls. I don't think that's what happened. I think what happened is that they cut somebody that they shouldn't have cut. Yeah, they cut somebody that shouldn't have cut. He I think I said in a video. I said this on Twitter. R-Truth was the type of guy who should have been there. He should be in WWE forever. He should be in WWE forever. He should be Supreme Court Justice R-Truth, or now Supreme Court Justice Ron Killings. He should either be in the thing. He should either be, when he should have a job in WWE until he retires or until his untimely passing. And that's what it should be. And I said that, but once all this other stuff happened, I also was like, I did that special That's a Shoot. So I said, but do you bring him back? What do you do for bring him back? Because see, here's what you don't want to do is you want to listen to the fans and everything like that. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to have this be a thing, because then the fans will do things like not cheer Roman Reigns, because that's not who they want. But that's who you want. So then they said, well, okay, if you're not going to do this, then if you're not gonna give us what we want, then we're gonna just boo Roman Reigns. We're gonna, when he wins the Royal Rumble, we're just gonna boo him out of the other. Even with The Rock there, we're gonna boo him. We're gonna boo Rey Mysterio because Daniel Bryan should have been in the Royal Rumble and he wasn't. So and that's the kind of thing, because you don't want to give the fans that type of power, because then now they think they might think, well, we want this, and they don't like Logan Paul. So are you gonna now, if there's a chance to fire Logan Paul, are you gonna fire Logan Paul? No. You brought back R-Truth, but you're gonna fire Logan Paul. So it's always a risky thing, but R-Truth is back, and I think they brought him back, and I'm not sure what it is. I don't know. Triple H may say something about it. Truth may talk at the thing. I've got the thing paused. I don't know what he might say, or anything like that. We may find out that it may be all that Ron Truth. I either need to call him R-Truth or Ron Kennedy. I've been saying R-Truth forever, so I think I'm going to probably stay with R-Truth. I kind of think that maybe maybe he might have went ahead and said, I know you're doing a John Cena return, but I just want to have one last ride, and maybe this is a contract out for the rest of the year. Maybe this is another like 2 or 3 year deal or whatever. But it's very interesting, very very interesting. Like I said, hopefully we'll get some more information once I finish talking here, I'll continue to look on Twitter and things like that. So you never know what could happen. All right, y'all. That is going to be it. That is going to be it. That is it for the rapid reaction of Money in the Bank. The next review is in 3 weeks with Night of Champions, and they're gonna have the King of the Rings be a part of the Night of Champions. It's not gonna be called the King and Queen of the Ring tournament anymore, or Premier Live event. The tournaments for the King and Queen of the Ring are just going to be part of the Night of Champions thing. So that's gonna be over in Saudi. That's gonna be at the end of the month. So I will probably do something on Friday for that to shoot. Whether it's more information coming from this our truth thing, maybe if it's anything else that breaks. If Jey Uso somehow loses the World Heavyweight Championship, I'm gonna rant and rave over that on that to shoot. So yeah. But that's the next human life event that I'll be here to predict and to react to. I know. By the way, I know this is like, this was like an hour or so later, so it's not necessarily a reaction. It's just a reaction. But again, I appreciate any of you guys who are watching. If any of you watching this on demand, post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. What do you guys think of this review? What do you think of Ron Kelly is back in WWE? Make sure you post your comments down below. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy, AJTRIP, signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I'm out.